Good afternoon, viewers. We are here today to watch this Masters men game, South Africa against Australia. This is game number 78 of the round robin. A whole lot of very experienced players here on both teams, both players, former coaches, and other well-known people in this community here. If you are watching, don't forget to donate some money to the GoFundMe for the streaming and for the video filming. This will help us do better in the future, as well as supporting the great system they've got here so far. And as this game gets off underway, it looks like the Australian team takes possession of it right off of the bat. A little bit of chaos in the center here, though. If you're watching, don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know who you're rooting for and tell us what's on your mind. Let the people who are in know that you are there watching and supporting, as they will be watching this video after and figuring out what they need to improve on in the games to come. Again, very clear on this far side here. We see the Australian player really come away on a big break very clearly without a lot of opposition. As he gets turned around, a lot of bodies on the floor here. And the play dies into the corner just a little bit. Some good defense there by the Australians, but the South Africans have the numbers advantage here and helps them break right up the wall. Stopped by the Australian back. And as they go to start a bit of a swing, the South African team shuts them down very easily. Some good team play by number 11. That is Jack Van Blert. A nice tight half curl by the Australian man, laying it off to his next player in. Unfortunately, not enough support there for them to maintain possession. Again, a lot of back and forth hockey here. Absolutely the cleanest start to a game so far. We're about 2.5 minutes in here, and we have not had a call yet. Definitely some good, clean, technical play. And we have our first stoppage in play. This is going to be a body foul against the Australians in favor of South Africa, who will now get an advantage puck right in front of the Australian net. For those who do not know, a body foul can be a number of things. Mainly involves using your body to shove another player out of the way or to obstruct their access to the puck. And a nice advantage start there. Unfortunately, for South Africa, the Australian defense, they're very strong as they push it out to the side and start to make a counter drive. And a quick turnaround by South Africa here. Again, some good technical play here, but very individual so far from the South African team. Contrary to the Australians, more team-based strategy so far. A lot of layoffs and passing coming from Australia. The South African team preferring mostly to swim it. And unfortunately did not have his head up there. Got tackled pretty easily from above by the Australians. And nobody down on the bottom there to stop this Australian breakout. Big swim all the way across right towards the sub bench. You bet he's looking to get some fresh bodies in for his team. And you can watch him go right out into the sub bench as number 5 lays off and might even do the same. Australia looking to play out in the middle a little bit more than they have been before. A lot of swimming there from this Australian team. And here we have another stop in play. This one's going to be a stick infringement foul, and it looks to be against South Africa, giving Australia now an advantage coming from 2 meters off of the wall and 5 away from the net wall. Giving the Australians very little room to maneuver here. The South Africans. Great push there. A little bit of chaos in front of the net. The South Africans very successfully defend that. Ryan Leroux says, "Go South Africa." Great drive down this far wall. A lot of swimming here. South Africans really doing a good job of following up and supporting their play. Not a lot of lateral passing, but a lot of layoffs. Just a chain of them. And unfortunately, it's not enough as Australia turns it around and a call is going on the play. Another stick infringement foul. This time it's going to be against Australia. South Africa now getting the advantage right in front of their net, and we'll see how close to the center it is. It is right off to the side. Still only 5 meters vertically away from the net. A few South Africa players still on the surface here off of that advantage. Curious strategy. You'd expect a lot of them to be down off the face-off, off the advantage. But you still had a couple of them waiting, hanging back, and it looks to have paid off for them as the Australians get a good break, but South Africa has some good defense here. Not giving them anything easy. Number 14, that is actually Jack, taking a bit of a swim and a pass out towards the center. A bit of a fumbled finish there as the Australians managed to take it to the far wall. And a lot of chaos right in front of the Australian net. South Africa pushing very hard, and the puck has entered the trough. We're going to see the refs are calling it, and it is in fact a goal. 1-0 in favor of South Africa against Australia here in Game 78, Masters Men, South Africa versus Australia. And we're going to see who that goal was scored by. That'll be number 11, Brent Forslap. Great goal, Brent. Definitely the start that South Africa wanted here. A very back and forth game, but so far only South Africa able to convert. They're going to be pleased with that. Luke Shannon says, "Goal!" Thanks, Luke. South Africa definitely taking their time to get set up here for this next strike. We have a white timeout, and that will be the change there. That is South Africa. Going to take some time to rest and relax after that goal. Maybe determine what went right and try and keep doing that. Luke says Brento. Antoine says nice guys. Gert, I have no idea what that meant, but he seems to be cheering for Jack. And Brent. Again, if you're watching this and you like the quality of the footage and you like this setup here, don't forget to donate to this GoFundMe. You can find it on the World's Facebook page and the official World's Tournament page. Again, any and all donations are much appreciated, so thank you very much for those guys. This strike looks to be taken very easily by Australia. Very little competition there or contention from the South African team. Looks like maybe they weren't quite ready or missed a step there on that advantage. Some good technical play there by the South African men. That's number 11, Brent again, goal scorer. Something obviously going right for South Africa here as they have tons of momentum. Play going really quickly into the Australian zone. Great switch right across towards our own net. Australia playing great defense and stopping it, shutting that down, and taking a big swim now towards the South African net. Support is a little bit late down, and the South Africans managed to capitalize on that. The Australians taking it right towards the corner of the South African zone. South Africa playing some good defense here, not allowing the Australian men too much time, taking a pretty risky swim across their own zone. This one seems to be towards their sub-bench, looking for some fresh blood to jump in and give them some support. A lot of chaos in this far corner. Not as many bodies down as you would expect, though. The 3-meter depth of this pool in Quebec City might start to be getting to these men here on this day of the tournament. Definitely an unforgiving pool, that's for sure. Good defense by the Australians, although a bit of a fumbled pass. We are going to see what that was about as we have a stop and play. This call against Australia. And that is a body foul against Australia. Not a lot going on here, so the refs have yet to set the line. Not sure what they're waiting for. And there we have it. Number 14, Jack again from the South African team, taking it laterally off of the advantage rather than straight towards their net, trying to spread out the Aussie defense. And is not as successful as he perhaps was hoping, as we have this play ending up in the offensive corner for South Africa. A man down for Australia, 45 seconds and a penalty remaining. Good play by the Australian men, unfortunately not quite quick enough to get away with it, as the South African defense shuts his break down. Apparently not exactly cleanly, as we do have a call on it. Sending somebody out to the box, that is number 14, that is Jack again. Jack, you've been naughty, and you've been caught. Only 14 seconds left, I should say, in the Australian penalty here. Two minutes, oh, big penalty, Jack. Your teammates are gonna make you buy you some beer or something for that. Really great defense here by the South Africans. A bit of a lift there, but I doubt the refs would see that. They definitely saw something, as they are making a call. Appears to be grabbing the barrier. 2 minutes regardless. And this is against Australia. 2 minutes in the sin bin. Again, bad behavior has been found out. And we are at even strength here. A 5-on-5 game. That is number 4, Jacko Smith. 3 minutes to go left in this first half, and we have a little bit of a 5-on-5. And a little bit of a man advantage after that for South Africa, assuming they don't get another penalty. Great cut there. Australians obviously not prepared to defend that 45. Although a bit of a strange pass option there. I would have expected him to go to his fresher man on the other side. South Africans, a lot of lateral movement here, really trying to tire out the Australian players, not let them stay down and defend. Good swat there by their number 5 on Australia. That would be Jason. And again, the South Africans not making any direct lines to the goal, just really waiting for the Australians to make a mistake. It seems like they've found their chance. They're right on the lip of the net, and the Australians successfully defend that. Now a 6-on-5 against Australia. Playing a nice, slow offensive maneuver, but the South Africans managed to take it. Number 14, Jack, straight out of the box and towards their net. Not enough to get a goal, but definitely enough to hand off to the next player. goes in for a dummy, and it is not successful. Great defense right on the trough for the Australians, who flick it out into open water and get the opportunity to change. Another attack here by the South Africans, really relentlessly pushing now. They found a weak spot and they're going for it. They are pushing right on the lip of the trough, and the puck is in. We're going to see what the refs are calling. They are calling that a goal. That is confirmed. It is 2-0 in favor of South Africa against the Australian men's Masters team. A great goal, a lot of pressure leading up to that, really forcing the Australians laterally both ways and evidently tiring them out just enough to slip one by and put that puck in the net. That is by number 4, Dirk Tromp. Great goal, Dirk. And a great lead here. 50 seconds left in this first half. We are getting a timeout from the Australian team. Antoine says, brilliant. Antoine, I totally agree. That was a very brilliant play. A lot of players made use of that puck there, and tons of layoffs, tons of passes, and a very successful team effort there in order to put that puck in. Patience playing a very large role in that goal, and in finding the chink in the Australian defense just big enough to slip that puck through. Just a reminder, if you are watching and you do like what you see, please donate some money to the GoFundMe. It will go much appreciated, I promise you that. George Watson says, great play, Diggler. George, thanks for watching. Could have gone in sooner. Ooh, trash talking from the comment section here, George. RSA really easily taking that strike. Australia a little bit late to that. I think the rule here is if you do call a timeout, you're going to be late for the next one. It seems to be the result here. Joining me now from South Africa.
Conrad. Hello there. Sorry, just got out the swimming pool myself. Conrad here. It's great to be on deck again, South Africa. Wow. Is this the first half already? 2-0. Sorry, I've just got in and I've just seen the score. As a South African, I'm quite...
Well, Conrad, let me tell you, it's been a very back and forth game so far. A few different penalties, a lot of play in both teams' corners, and as we end this first half, it's been a very evenly fought game. However, South Africa in this men's Masters game, the only team so far to have successfully converted any efforts into a goal.
Obviously, is South Africa. All they've done, it looks like they've done well. So it's half time. Quebec is still stunning. Even at this time of the afternoon, it seems to be cooling off. Seems like we've got a little bit of rain forecasted by the looks of it.
Seems to be the plan, but so far it has held off. I haven't seen any drops yet, although I can't imagine it was a smart call to forget my umbrella today.
Yeah, it is certainly humid though, where you can feel it. It was just great to be in the water. I must say the facilities here are just above standard. They really are impressive. That water is such an awesome place to be in. I've just got out of the water being a coach for the German ladies team. They played New Zealand. Oh, it was a one-way affair, obviously, for New Zealand. Nonetheless, we're here to support South Africa, and you're obviously here as a Canadian, but I'm sure you're supporting Australia. We need someone to root for them.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm supporting anybody here. I think you've gotten yourself a little bit mixed up with your accent and your Germany shorts here. And I would hate to be your ladies right now, hearing you saying that you are cheering for South Africa.
Oh well,
I'm sure they're gonna hear about this.
It's quite an interesting story. I live in Belfast in Northern Ireland, but I'm originally from South Africa. Recently relocated there. One of the German ladies, the vice captain, in fact, was a student at Queen's University in Belfast, and she just saw what I was doing and made friends with us as a family and said, listen, we could do with an extra coach to join the German ladies team. Would I consider that? And in January I started with the team. So it's been great. It's been an honor.
Absolutely.
I used to go to the Worlds as a referee. So now I'm in a different camp, not in the referee camp anymore. I'm now in the coaching camp. It's been quite a learning curve, but it's been an awesome experience.
Hey, absolutely, and I can't wait for you to bring an Ireland team out next cycle.
Well, they are speaking about it. They're planning on bringing a Masters team to the World Championships 2 years in Australia. So
Melbourne, yeah?
they are planning to bring a team to that. That it'll be good to see them back on the timetable.
And I don't know if you can see here on the comment section. Oh, we've got Gert, who has said, great to see Jacko ex-Safa playing for Oz. Ooh, we've got some allegiance switches here.
That's right. Yeah,
a couple people who are happy you're here.
2 people that are playing for Australia. In the elite team, we've got Gary as well, Gary Rosewarne. He's playing for the elite team. And we're off. South Africa against Australia, second half. And South Africa takes a puck. Consolidating, making out they're going to wall, offering it off to an Australian, and they're capitalizing on that and taking it to the wall.
Big swing, really fully extended there, driving it right up into the corner. Unfortunately, not enough pressure there. And
well, Brent was just holding his breath forever there, just trying to keep it in. In our foreground here, we've got Dirk Tromp passing it in. That's Jack van Black taking it up. Sorry, that was Brent. Excuse me.
Not the first time that's happened this game.
I don't think so. It's sometimes quite difficult to make out the numbers at first, you know. Well, dolphin kick, that means that he's trying to get some speed up. Excellent layoff to the second player. Still pushing up the wall. It's unusual for South Africa to play the wall. I like an open game, you know, putting it out there and playing it into the open spaces.
Got to stop and play here. The refs are going to make a call.
It's a free arm use by Australia, so using the free arm, and so they've been pushed back 3 meters, advantage for South Africa.
Illegal use of the free arm. Sometimes makes me wonder if some of these players should be lefties, the amount of time they've used that arm.
I like your humor, it's fantastic.
There we go, a fairly successful advantage puck there, but a quick stop and play. This time it's a body foul against the South Africans in favor of Australia.
And it looks like there's an obstruction charge against a South African, and he's been sent to the sin bin for 2 minutes. I'm just trying to get the number here so I can confirm who it is.
Another penalty though. That was number
one. It's Darren Hanna.
Darren, you got to be more careful. That is the second penalty by South Africa so far. Serving a lot of time in the sin bin.
I think they just need a rest.
Could be.
If you're 2 up, you can afford it.
Fair enough. Well, there is always the sub bench if you prefer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure the team will be noting it down, you know, what these guys do at the end of the competition. They have what you call a sin bin. Okay,
right
sorry
on the lip
about
of the
that.
trough.
We've got a goal.
Calling it.
This is awesome for South Africa. In the second half, putting one into the tin. And just to confirm that was Leon van der Merwe from Pretoria. He's from the Highveld. That's a region in South Africa that's about 2,500 meters above sea level. So playing down here on sea level for him is like on extra oxygen.
Oh yeah, bonus air.
Bonus air.
Extra thick. George Watson says 4 minutes total on the side, not good. Thanks for that, George.
Greetings, George. Greeting, Antoine. Mr. Muscat, it's good to have you on board. South Africa pushing it in. They've got numbers down there and they're keeping them down there, pinning Australia to the wall. Australia quite content just to take it there to their sub box and do some exchanges and get some extra fresh legs onto the bottom of the pool.
Absolutely.
He's isolating himself here a little bit, this Australian player.
Oh, great cut towards the middle, though.
So, he's keeping control. This guy's got skill. That's fantastic.
Hey, there's a reason they call him the Masters.
Yeah, exactly. That's Marius Branquina with his distinguished arm strap there. Nico taking it and passing it on the inside. Referee is calling stick infringement. So obviously when that puck was taken and playing a little bit of advantage there, and seeing that there's no advantage for the Australian, pushing South Africa back 3 meters. So Australia have the advantage in South Africa's half.
Oh, big flick there off the advantage puck.
That
Unfortunately, the Australian crowd defends that very successfully, unfortunately for South Africa. Sorry, vice versa.
Yeah, no, South Africa managed to contain that. They've consolidated that puck and they brought it to the inside. Well, here comes Australia on the charge. He's going to turn to the inside.
Again,
good turn.
Big cut
I think that might have been a little bit of obstruction there by the South African player. Let's have a look what the call is. No, it's against Australia. I'm looking at the chief ref and I'm not picking up what the call was.
I imagine the evaluator's going to have a bit of a word with them after.
South Africa have a get out of jail free card there. Interesting, little 45 there in the middle. Not seeing that Australian coming down on top of him. That's the thing about playing a three-dimensional sport. You know, that extra dimension, somebody coming down on top of you is sometimes unforeseen. And you've only got these little lenses that you can look through, which makes it a little bit two-dimensional.
Absolutely.
That flick went to South African. Darren Hanna getting it, laying off to the center pivot.
Ooh, a bit of
and
a swing in
stretch
front
to
of
the
their own
left hand
net.
side. Nice little switch there in front of their own goals.
Bold move.
Marius
and
getting
seems to have
it.
been caught.
Taken out by Australia. And that given easily away to Willem Zelstra is the center. He's looking for somebody. Big flick to the outside. I think he was expecting someone to be there.
Always a little bit tough when you're looking for a friend and they are just not there for you. Especially true underwater.
Oh,
Great
what a
pick.
steal.
Great
That was a
pick.
great pick by Willem.
Ooh,
That flick didn't go anywhere.
bit of a botched play there.
Yeah,
You gotta
and it
keep
was
your head
picked up by the Australian. Perfect pick up, and they've taken the advantage on that.
Both teams got a lot of numbers on the bottom here. South Africa probably more so with a whole bunch of fresh bodies coming in from their sub bench.
Yeah, they're in.
A lot of South Africa
Okay,
players in the bottom
that's a call.
for all the teams here.
Okay, advantage for Australia. Team timeout has been called by South Africa. So they're 1 minute for the half. Team time takeout for South Africa. Just to recuperate, excuse me. Get some fresh air. Team talk, discuss their tactics. Australia will welcome it as well.
Absolutely, both teams relishing this chance to get a minute of just pure oxygen and relaxation before they jump back in and pour their hearts out into the pool.
Now I'm quite sure that the South Africans are just saying, guys, let's just stick to the basics and play some free hockey.
I'm sure the Australians are saying something like that too, but with the accents you never know.
Well, they're
slang.
not even huddling together. They're just saying, you know, we're here, we're having fun, we're playing our Masters games, and these are basically good buddies that are just meeting every now and then, every 2 years, and they're coming to have a humdinger together and then a good party.
Ah.
No, but it's serious now. This is hockey. This is the World Championships. South Africa doing exceptionally well. 3-0 ahead. It's a good buffer. Australia is looking for numbers down there, and it's been called up.
This one's going to send somebody to the box for a minute.
There is
For
an
the Australians.
a legal advantage of the puck, and an Australian has been cited for that and has been sent to the sin bin for 2 minutes.
You never want to do any gloving. And if you get caught enough.
I'm just trying to see his number 4. That's Jaco Smit.
Oh, Jacko.
Jaco Smit sounds a little bit South African, to tell the truth.
Absolutely. One of the comments before, great to see Jacko, ex-ZAF playing for Oz from Gert.
Well, there you go. So he's certainly taking one for the team and giving South Africa the extra advantage.
Certainly is.
I wonder if there's a strategy there.
Oh, I don't know. South Africa might be lucky in that sense. The #1 country export right now seems to be underwater hockey players and coaches, as all sorts of teams have South Africans amidst their midst. The Canadians being no exception.
Yeah, that's true. The Canadians have got 2 South Africans, I think, or 3.
On the men's elite team, I believe so, yeah. And
right.
a few on maybe some of the other teams as well, I'm not sure.
I don't know if Dean McNeil is listening, but I think your son would send regards.
Antoine, 2 minutes for gloving. If you have repeated fouls and continues to happen, generally the refs will start to get harsher and harsher. Obviously, this illegal advantage of the puck, not the first offense, and obviously serious enough that they've decided to make that call.
That's right. South Africa have the advantage. That's Dave Chapman, the captain, taking it, passing it on to Dirk. Great work by Ryan Hackenberg. He's really getting stuck in there.
Some great back and forth. Luke Shannon sitting with his other son now.
Tell
Well, say
Luke,
hi for us.
Yeah, please send Dean my regards. Oh,
Big
Australia have
big
a score. What do you know? This is fantastic news.
I don't know if
Well,
you guys
Ryan
can hear the crowd
Hackenberg
is
actually
going
started
wild
that
right
on
now.
the side. Ryan Hackenberg was involved. Oh,
They're waving
there's
that
no-
off.
There's no.
They are calling an illegal
Unbelievable.
use of the free arm. They are waving that goal off. It is not going
Unbelievable.
to count.
This is when we do need video assisted referees, you know, so that we could play that back. Because South Africa will be relieved. I think Australia will be a little bit peeved.
Yeah, the refs have decided that is not a goal. You could hear the stands cheering and then going very silent here. Obviously, a big Australian presence in the stands right now based on
That's
that
right.
sound.
They've got 4 teams here.
Oh
so
my.
there'll be plenty of support. I mean 3 teams, sorry.
A very exciting game here, though. A lot of back and forth. Again, still only South Africa able to convert with 6 minutes left here in the second half.
Now that pass didn't go too well for South Africa, but they managed to capitalize on that. Passed it into from Nico. Dirk trying to get his hand at it. Good work by Brent. That's excellent work by
Really
Brent. He
lot of
stayed
space
down
in the
there
open
and
water
just
and a
kept it
big
going.
flick.
Extra numbers down on the ground. That's called holding your breath and being there for your players.
A big flick. That is 4-0 now in favor of South Africa. This goal is not being called back. It is absolutely going to count.
Brent Borslop with the breakaway there. He actually created that, you know. He just stayed down there, tussled for the puck, and kept his position, maintained his breath hold, and it proved vital for the team there.
Yeah, a very composed South African team here. Really not letting the pressure of this holding this lead get to them. The Australians, on the other hand, starting to look a little bit more frantic. A big flick off of that, maybe a little bit too far forwards.
Yeah.
As the South Africans recover it.
And they swing it wide. This is typical of their play, you know, playing it up the middle. It's good for a 3-meter pool to keep it open, because you've got so many options to work from when you're in the center. When you're up against the wall, you've only got one dimension to play off, so they would prefer to keep it in the open.
Yeah, tons of space to work with, and yet we still have a body
South
foul here. This is
African,
2
South
minutes.
African 2 minutes cited for obstruction. That's Jack van Blyk, the left back, been sent out. That's fine. South Africa are going to have to just work. Australia will feel that they'll have an advantage here to go and put one in the bin, in the tin at least.
And Jack, this is now his second penalty here. We're rooting for
They've
you, and you're
turned it
letting
around.
us down. Jack, you have been caught.
This is absolutely weird, because they've turned the call around to the opposite side, but yet a South African has been cited and sent out.
Looks like 2 calls on the play, one against the South African, but apparently a second call.
That's
has been
fine.
made
Somebody
prior.
must have played advantage, and they went to the advantage rule, which is fine. That's how it works. So the advantage went to a previous infringement.
George Watson, Jack, you always said you never claimed never to foul. I've heard him say a similar thing, and it looks like he is sitting his 4th minutes here on this game. Gert, great to see the South African
Wow,
players
what a
down and
breakaway.
looking. Agreed.
It's excellent move there. Nice little flick on the inside.
Good back and forth.
That was great work by Leon. Good hockey.
And right on the cusp of the net, there's a stop and play.
That's been stopped. That's not a goal.
The refs
Free arm use.
Another
by
illegal
South
use of the
Africa.
free arm.
It did look a little bit rough there as the South Africans were trying to get control of that puck in the pin. And as another South African being sent out.
Oh dear. Naughty, naughty. Number
This is
5.
number 5. I think that's the second time, isn't it?
Could be as well.
Yeah.
You guys from South Africa, you gotta keep your players a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, it
If
seems
you are
like
watching
it.
from the comment section, send them some personal messages and you tell them that we're watching you and we see you fouling.
I think the chief ref for South Africa is going to have to do some personal training. Marius waiting for that puck. So Australia is definitely using the advantage of having extra players available.
Yeah, a
South
lot of back
Africa
and
trying
forth.
hard. That was amazing work by South Africa.
Yeah, great timing on the defender there. A little bit of a lazy flick back
Yeah,
towards
I
the
think
corner,
he
though.
didn't know what actually happened there. I thought he heard the sound, but it was next door, which is a low vibration sound.
Yeah,
Australia is getting numbers there, and this looks like it's going to be...
right on the lip of the trough,
Wow.
and it is in. We're going to see what the
That's
refs
it.
call.
That looks like it could be a goal.
And they are calling it as
They're
a goal.
calling as a goal.
It does look like the South Africans gave up
Okay,
a
this
bit
one
before
is
the
not going to
buzzer.
be called back. Yeah, that's a
called
goal
back.
for Australia.
And they are finally on the board.
And that's Reece Kulford, the goal scorer for Australia. Australia taking the advantage with 6 against 4.
If you got the bodies, you might as well use them.
Yeah, may as well use them.
Capitalize while
South
you can.
Africa's back to 5.
And with
there's
4.5
only one in
minutes
the
left in this
sub-books.
game. Still lots of time left in order for an Australian comeback.
It should be 4-1, the score. I'm sure they'll update it just now.
Yeah, a little bit of a delay on our scoreboard here.
Well done by Dirk, pushing it forward. Backwards just to consolidate. Squad happy just to keep it there. You know, they do have the lead, so they can just hold it there. That's going to get a potential of a delay of game there. They've got to take it out of that 1 meter yard. It's been held back. It has been called. It's been what? No,
A lot of chaos.
the
on the surface
referee
here.
has seen an obstruction and has called it for South Africa. South Africa have the advantage. It seemed to me that South Africa was holding that puck in the 1 meter yard a little bit too long. They've got to be careful about that.
And we're going to get that scoreboard back up and running for you in a second.
Brent is doing excellent work there for South Africa. Time up. That's the end of the game. Well, South Africa are playing their second game of the day, coming from a very narrow loss against France. So they'll feel good about their effort here on this game, second game of the day. They've managed to have a good resolve. They've played well. They've played their hearts out. They've held each other's backs. We look forward to their comments afterwards. Stay tuned for the interviews.
Absolutely, and don't forget, if you are watching this, please donate to the GoFundMe in support of the streaming system, and in order to better help them complete this again in the next cycle. Again, don't go anywhere. We have some post-game interviews. We're going to try and catch players from both teams, so stick around for that. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
Yeah, indeed. Please go to uwhworlds2018.com and go and support us. Every little bit helps to keep the streaming alive. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. Well, Yaku, congratulations. Second game of the day. It was a little bit of a hard one the first game. Coming back and picking up the players to be able to perform like that. How do you feel?
Great. It's always great to get one over the Aussies, seeing that they're the reigning champs. So we've been looking forward to this game for a long time, and found this morning a good warm-up to put into place what we've been practicing. So all best, all wishes to my teammates and the team themselves doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah, good.
So how do you feel about the Australians? I mean, they managed to get one back. They didn't sit out as much as the South Africans. Do you have many words maybe to say to our opposition, obviously, and also perhaps, you know, what we're going to learn out of this? You know, obviously we won this game, we lost the previous game, but we're always learning something. So how do you feel about that?
My philosophy is that you have to play the game on the boundaries of the law. So like Richie McCaw is a good example, and sometimes you overstep the line and you get thrown out. It's part of the game. You take your punishment, you sit on the side, you play with four guys. Four guys nearly kept them out, but slipped one in. I was looking at 5-0. Yeah,
that was a little bit of a pressure situation, but it's also good for the guys to learn to play under pressure. Finally, just maybe a word back home to your family and to the fans back home. What would you like to say to them?
Yeah, there's some WhatsApp groups going down, which I can't wait to go and read now.
Yeah, fantastic. You guys have done exceptionally well. Well done to your team. Well done to you as the coach. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Conrad.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.